Hello, everybody. How are you? Today we're going to work once more on part 5 of our story about Yang. In the last lesson, we learned how to talk about time. Do you still remember how to do it?
今何時ですか？
今5時半です。
おやすみなさい。今何時ですか
8時半です。
8時半。8時半。
I hope that helped you remember how to ask the time and tell time. In replying to "Ima nanji desu ka?", we've learned how to reply "ji desu" and "jihan desu" and "10 分です", haven't we? After learning to tell time, we also learned how to say that someone does something as a matter of habit. Let's review this by watching some scenes from the skit.
加藤さんの奥さんは毎朝6時に起きます。加藤さんの奥さんは毎朝6時に起きます。太郎さんはいつも8時半ごろ出かけます。太郎さんはいつも8時半ごろ出かけます。
Remember now how to say that a person customarily does something? Then let's ask Sugihara-san and Mine-san what time they get up and go to bed every day. It's easy to ask this. You already know the pattern, san wa ji ni okimasu. To change this to a question, just change ji ni to nanji ni and add ka at the end. Also, note that here it's better to use their names instead of a word for you. All right, let's try asking Sugihara-san what time she gets up. First, repeat after Kaiho-san.
杉原さんは何時に起きますか？杉原さんは何時に起きますか？
私は6時半ごろ起きます。
You understood the answer, didn't you? She gets up about 6:30. Now, let's ask Mine-san the same question. This time, you ask first without waiting for Kaiho-san's help. Go ahead.
ミネさんは何時に起きますか？
私は9時ごろ起きます。
He says he gets up about 9 o'clock, so he's a pretty late riser. Maybe it's because he goes to bed late at night. Let's ask him what time he goes to bed. You can do it by yourself now, so go ahead.
ミネさんは何時に寝ますか？
私は1時ごろ寝ます。
Just as I thought, he stays up fairly late. Now, how about Sugihara-san? Ask her what time she goes to bed.
杉原さんは何時に寝ますか？
私は11時ごろ寝ます。
She goes to bed at a reasonably early hour, doesn't she? How about you? What time do you go to bed? In Japanese? And what time do you get up? Well, let's end our review here and go on to today's lesson. But before we get into our first point for today, let's stop and see how it was used in the skit.
さてそれでは全国の朝の表情をリレーで見ていただきたいと思います。まずは青森のぶさんでございます。のぶさん。
おはよう。お父さん今何時？
今7時だよ。
遅れる。早く。ちょっと。
加藤さんの家では いつも7時頃朝ごはんを食べます。
気をつけて持って行って。はい。いただきます。
みどりさんは毎朝牛乳を飲みます。加藤さんは牛乳は飲みません。紅茶を飲みます。加藤さんは牛乳は飲みません。紅茶を飲みます。
Did you catch some familiar words and phrases there? There are two new words. 牛乳 means milk and kocha means tea. And so this whole thing means Mr. Kato doesn't drink milk, he drinks tea. The new point we want you to learn here is that the negative form of nomimasu is nomimasen. What part is different? It'll be easier to see if we enlarge it a little. See? All we've done is change masu to masen. That looks easy enough, doesn't it? Let's examine some of the other verbs we've learned and see how to make them negative.
起きます。
起きません。
食べます。
食べません。
出かけます。
出かけません。
寝ます。
寝ません。
As you can see, the negative of all the verbs here is formed simply by changing the masu ending to masen. This negative form is very frequently used, so fix it firmly in your mind.
どうぞ。
ありがとう。
いらっしゃいませ。
タバコいかがですか？
私タバコは吸いません。
ビールいかがですか？
いいえ、私ビールは飲みません。
これ読みますか？
私漫画は読みません。この犬は野菜は食べません。
Sugihara-san used wa masen about a lot of things. Did you understand what she meant?
タバコは吸いません。
This means I don't smoke.
ビールは飲みません。
This means I don't drink beer.
漫画は読みません。
This means I don't read comic books.
野菜は食べません。
This means this dog doesn't eat vegetables.
こい猫犬
Now, let's get back to our skit and see how the members of the Kato family get around.
みどりさんは自転車で学校へ行きます。みどりさんは自転車で学校へ行きます。
This means Midori goes to school